you're always ready. You've got your weapons and the things of that nature, tasers, whatever. You ain't going to take no chances on your life.
Well, we are trained on self-defense.
Right.
And of course, we have to protect the motoring public. One thing that we don't want you to do when we stop you is get out of your car.
Right.
And the reason for that is because when you're out of the car, you have no protection. At least inside that car, you have protection from another vehicle on the roadway that could lose control and strike you or strike me.
Right.
But see, that's part of my job, and that's part of my duty is to get out of that car and to approach your car. And so by keeping you inside your car, we can keep you safer. Plus, it also keeps us a little safer.
And you check everything, tags, insurance, license, restraints, and things of that nature. And a lot of times you're doing your job, and you also have to keep your surroundings, like people still going down the road. And then
yes, that's correct. And like you said, we check your driver's license, make sure you're valid to drive a vehicle.
Right.
We check your vehicle's paperwork to make sure it's licensed, it is insured, because you wouldn't believe the number of crashes that occur that someone in that crash was not insured. So then that's a cost that affects all of us, because all of our insurance rates are dependent on the fact that they have to pay out for uninsured motorists. But also, you know, we do look for seatbelt usage to make sure you're properly restrained, child restraint usage, because in the state of Kentucky, a lot of people don't understand the child restraint law. Now, let me cover that real quickly here. If a child is from or up to 40 inches in height, they have to be in a U.S. DOT approved child safety seat. Now, that is a seat with the harness that comes over the shoulders. It has a connector here that goes at the armpit level, and then it snaps into a belt buckle or a buckle at the base. And then the straps actually go across the child's legs, up the chest, over the shoulders.
Oh my goodness.
Now, once they get 40 inches in height, then they can go into a booster seat. Now, what a booster seat does is just pick them up to where the car seat belt will hit them in the right places.
Okay.
Now, the proper places for seat belt to be on a person is across the hip bones. Not up on the stomach area, but across the hip bones, because the hip bones provide protection from crushing of that belt in a collision. If you get above those hip bones, there's nothing but your spine to stop that belt as it goes into your body. So down across the hip bones, and then across your sternum and your collarbone, whether it be on either side. Now, a lot of people, I see this all the time, they take and tuck it under their arm. They put it behind their back.
Right.
That is in violation of Kentucky law. Kentucky law says it must be properly worn, and that is stated by across the lap and across the chest and shoulder, and properly adjusted. So, you know, I've seen people that pull them loose and have them out here, and that's about the same as not wearing them.
That's a shame. And you know, seatbelts save lives.
Seatbelts do save lives.
Exactly. And let's talk about also drunk drivers. What's the percentage of being impaired? You know,
in Kentucky, the DUI statute states that if you register a .08
.08
blood alcohol concentration,
right,
you are deemed per se, which means you are intoxicated in and of itself.
right.
So .08 doesn't necessarily mean that you're not, or below a .08 does not necessarily mean you're not intoxicated. But I've arrested people who were .04 that could not stand up. They were totally impaired. The video, we had videos in our cars, and the video showed how impaired they were on just a .04.
Oh.
And I've arrested people who were a .36. Which is extremely high amount of blood alcohol concentration, which is also indicative of possible alcoholism.
Well, you know,
but they've been able to function somewhat.
And you face all kinds of things like that, whether it be somebody's on prescription drugs, even sometimes somebody could be on cold medicines.
Yes, cold medicines, prescription drugs, and you can be arrested for being on your own prescription medications because there is what's called a therapeutic level. If your doctor prescribes you one pill every 6 hours, you should take 4 pills in a day's time, in a 24-hour period. And so with that, if they do a blood test, they can see how much medication's in your system and equate that to the prescription. So if you're outside that prescription, then you could be found guilty of being DUI on your own prescription medications. Also, on your prescription bottles, if you take time to read what the pharmacist puts on there, they will say, do not operate motor vehicle or heavy machinery while taking this medication.
Exactly.
Do not mix this medication with other medications. Do not mix this medication with alcohol. And a lot of people don't take time to read that little fine print.